Hello, everyone. How are all of you today? Tomorrow I'll be getting up very early morning, and then I will be traveling. And I will not be doing live for another 2 days because Sunday I'm traveling. I will reach there Canada time Sunday evening, but for those people in this part of the world, it will be Monday morning. So I'll just be arriving there. So I will not be doing live stream on Monday morning. And also I have to sort out the time with my daughter and her family, right? I have to see what is convenient to them. And accordingly, I will decide on, maybe I'll have to change the timing for my live schedule. I will do live schedule from Canada because I need the watch hours. So I'll have to reschedule that. Let me see how it goes. So let's see how things are. There were already 2 likes when I came, but there were no comments. But there were already 2 likes. So let's wait and see. Yes, I was looking at the last time's video on the question and answers, the Q&A. Hi, Stephen. How are you? So you were one of them who liked it earlier. Yes, I saw 2 people had liked it, but there was no comment. So I was just wondering who liked it. Okay, thank you, Stephen. How's Martha doing, Stephen? Is she getting? Is she better? Feeling better? Or I guess she has her ups and downs, right? She has her ups and downs. So as long as things are not getting worse, let me put it that way, right? As long as things are not getting worse, it means it's better. Like even for my wife, they said like if she's not progressing too quickly in the with the disease, then that's a very good positive sign because other people were getting affected more and more. Like kind of every 3 months we used to go for a checkup, and did it become every month later on? I think so. Every month then it became, and we could see like from one month to the other, so many people have passed away. So many people have become worse, and she was still doing good. She had not become worse. She had not become better, but she had not become worse. So that in itself was like the doctor said also that is something positive. She's doing okay. She had the stress test today, but I don't know when we will get the results. Stephen, I have mentioned this before on my channel, also on my live streamer. But like from my father's side, everybody died of heart attack. So when we went to Canada, first thing you have to do is get in touch with a local physician, right? You have to belong to some, physician somewhere. Without a reference from your physician, you cannot go and get anything done. So we joined. And in that, we have to give a whole history, family history from mother side, father side. So I wrote like, from father side, everybody died with heart attack and all. Finished. That was the end. Hello, Pita. Nice to see you here, Pita. Thank you for coming. I like this channel name. So that was the end. Started said, oh, go and do an ECG. Did the ECG. Then she said, your ECG is not bad, but it's not too good also. So I need to refer you to a cardiologist. So she referred me to a cardiologist. He was a Pakistani guy, but very good he turned out to be in his work. So then he started with, all the usual tests. And then the last thing he started sending me for stress test. Now I would go for one stress test, and then it became another kind of stress test, and another kind of stress test. And I was getting really stressed out with the stress test. And one day I told him, I said, Doctor, what is my heart condition? He said, oh, you have a heart of a 40-year-old. I said, then why are you sending me for all these stress tests? It's causing me more and more stress going for these tests. So he started laughing. And then he said, okay, no more stress tests now, but I need to send you for one for last final test. And that is, they give you an injection to slow down your heartbeat so the camera can catch the image. And they put in a dye, so the camera has to catch the image of that dye. The dye checks for blockages and God knows what 101 things it checks for. So when I went there was a guy at the side of me already. And then he went, and then another guy came, and then he went. And like that, many people came and went, and I am still there. And the nurse was checking on me every like 15 minutes or something. Then after some time, I told her, I said, Sister, I said, everybody is coming and going, and I am still over here. What is happening? And she said, your heart rate is not coming down. And if it doesn't come down, we cannot do the test. So I said, why don't you give me an extra shot? She said, oh no, that we cannot do. We are allowed to give only one shot. That's it. So I said, so if it doesn't come down, what's the alternative? Like I've been over an hour over here. So she said, okay, let's give it another last 15 minutes. If it doesn't happen, we cannot do it, then you just pack up and go home. So I said, okay, I waited. 15 minutes later, she came back and she said, okay, pack up. We cannot do the test. Your heart is not slowing down. Then I told her, okay, now please, I want you to specifically write in your report. It's not my problem. The problem is the injection is not working. My heart rate is not coming down. And therefore, you cannot do the test. So I want that stressed, particularly written out for my doctor, because I'm tired of going for all these tests. Then I got an appointment and I went to meet him. But then I told him, Doctor, not my fault. I went for your last test, but if the system is not working for me, what can I do? So, as you promised, no more stress tests. He said, okay, no more. Now you don't have to come every 3 months. You can come in once in 6 months. I went, I think, the first time for after 6 months. After that, I did not go. Then so many things happened in life, and wife passed away, and I left, and I came here. But whenever I go to Canada, I always do an ECG. I take an ECG, just keep checking my heart. So I know these stress tests are really very stressful, at least for me. And what a variety of tests they give you in the stress test. The final one I did, they had me on the treadmill, and then they started not only going faster, but they started also raising. And they told me, if you get any kind of pain or any kind of discomfort or something, just inform us. And I thought to myself, let me die also over here. It doesn't matter. But I will just keep on. I will not complain. I will just keep on. But I didn't get pain or uncomfortable feeling. But the gradient was high and the speed was fast. I was doing my best to just catch up with it. That's it. And when it was over, I was really relieved. How do you feel? Okay, okay. Between breaths, I said, okay. And that's when I told my doctor, please no more. Then the dye thing also did not work. So yes, that was it. So today's theme, and if you check my thumbnail, I really had to search for something good, to focus on the question about fear of failure, because last time we had the Q&A and there were a couple of questions addressing this, right? And nobody, like I just offered whatever my feelings were on it, and whatever uh, advice I could give on that. I commented, but no one came back to me to say anything about it. I don't mean like, oh, very good comment, very good advice. No, I mean like, have you tried it? Is it helpful? uh, have you tried something like that before and it hasn't worked? So like I was hoping I would get a feedback of something like that. Like even Magenda asked something about that, and I asked her, kept asking her, um, do you feel it is okay what I suggested? Do you think it has helped you, or and things like that? And then I even said, like, if you can give me a particular example of a failure you are talking about, a particular example of a failure you're talking about, then perhaps I can give some more insight into that particular aspect. But she didn't come back also with that. So I was just looking at that and I felt like that topic was a little incomplete, because people are very frightened and are very scared of failures. They want to succeed in life, and failure means something bad, something, um, not good happening to them, something, that it's like they are no good, they are no good at all. So all these kind, and then it can also work to depression, right? It can work into depression, and depression, I think, is one of the worst things. I know a lady who, in Canada, and she used to get into these depressions, and it is very strange because she would be getting better, but each time she made a trip to India and came back, she was again, back again to like her depression state. And we felt like, somebody in India must be doing all this black magic, or, something like that they must be doing, because it started when she came back from an India trip. And as she's getting better and go back to India again, it used to, occur. And strongly. Many times she didn't want to meet anybody. Like even now, my wife and myself, we were all very good family friends. When they were working in Dubai, I even tutored both their children, like, for math. So we are very close together. And when they migrated to Canada and when we migrated as well, then they helped us so much, taking us around, to put in our forms for the PR cards and all that. They said use our address so that when it comes we can keep it safely and we can inform you guys about it. So like they were so helpful. But she didn't want to meet us also. She didn't want to meet anybody, not even us. She was very close to my wife, very close to my wife. So just 1 week before she passed away, we had gone for a picnic far away. We had gone for a picnic, and at that picnic, like my wife and her were together. They were together most of the time. They were always together. And just 1 week later, like she passed away. So many times she tried to commit suicide, but it was okay. But then that fateful early morning, that fateful morning, what happened? The night before, husband and wife were talking, and they were talking for a long time, and husband was sleepy, but he said, I didn't want to sleep before her. I wanted her to sleep, and then I could go to sleep. But what happened, I don't know. She went to sleep, he went to sleep. What happened, I don't know. But he suddenly woke up like around 3 o'clock or something in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock or something it was in the morning. He woke up, and suddenly he, found she's not there. He looked around the house, she's nowhere there. He went down, he found her car missing. So he panicked. So he had another very good trusted friend. He just gave him a call and he said, "Hey, can you come over?" And the fellow stayed very near. So he said, "Can you just come over? It's really an emergency." Like he said, the wife has gone. He mentioned her name, like, okay, she's gone, and I do not know where. Her car also has gone. And I just dropped off to sleep for a little while, he said, but this is what happened. So that guy came. Then both of them decided to go out, and they decided to. One would go like from their house, one would go like on the right of the road, and one would go on the left, and they would just scout around and see anything. Now, when you go on the right side, you come to a bridge, and under the bridge is a highway, and that is a toll highway. So you have to pay toll tax to travel on that highway, and that goes right into Ottawa and the capital and all that far away place. So this he happened to take the right road, okay, the husband, and when he went there on the bridge, he saw one big crowd, big crowd. He saw ambulance lights and all those kind of things and cop cars and all that. Then suddenly, as he came closer, he saw her car parked to one side. And he said, "Hey, that's my wife's car." Like, he thought to himself, "And what is this crowd like? What's happened to her?" So when he went to the top of the bridge and looked down, there was a big crowd. There was a big crowd, and people were all around, and paramedics were there, and helicopter was there also. Helicopter also had come to uplift the person, and he kind of recognized that this is his wife. So he kind of told, for maybe her clothes or whatever it is, he told the police, like, "No, no, that is my wife. I come searching for her. I do not know where she went out of the house, but I'm sure that is my wife and all." So anyhow, they said, "Okay, we are putting her in the ambulance. You drive?" "Yes, I drive." "So okay, you come to so and so hospital." So he drove to the hospital because they airlifted her, right, and they took her. So he went to the hospital and all that, waited and all that, and then he saw it was confirmed, but her head was all smashed in. Her head was kind of smashed in, and she had thrown herself from the top. She had thrown herself from the top, and that is a major highway. But I guess being very early in the morning, there was not much traffic. If there was traffic, you can imagine she would have been bumped around by the traffic. But so later on, they said, like, we may not have a viewing. We may not have a viewing, But then, they do touch up and everything, right? So they did the touch up and all, but the casket was covered half. You could only see her face, like, from her neck or something. You could only see that much. Below, you couldn't see anything, like, So the casket was, brought right up to the cover was brought right up to that place. So, she couldn't tell anything, but it seems her head and all was, and even part of her face and all, but they had done some reconstructive surgery kind of thing, with makeup and all that. So that's why they said, like, we may not have a viewing. So it depended on how well they could touch her up, and if it was still okay, for people to see her, then they decided to have. So I don't know body part or her legs, hands, uh, what was injured from that point of view. Like, we don't know. But yeah, so depression. That is what depression can do. That is what depression can do. So I think that's one of the worst things. I keep asking for prayers for my friend. She was in school, a friend, and she's really suffering from cancer. She's really suffering a lot. She's been through chemo. She's been through 101 terminologies she gives me, but she's really suffering. So, and she already used to suffer from depression. She already used to suffer from depression, and like now it's becoming like. So then she fought against it. I used to encourage her a lot, like, to get her out of it. And like, I was in Dubai, she was in India, Bombay. But when I got in touch with her finally, I tried my best. Like, she did get over it. She did get over it. So now I'm so scared, like she might get back into it, She's got a very supportive family, very supportive husband. So that's one blessing, So yes, so what are your views about failure? What are the, like, if you happen to be doing something and if you fail, uh, what do you do about it? You fail in doing something. What do you do about it? What are your thoughts on that? Yes, understand. It's okay. It's okay. As long as eye connect is there, it's good enough. Don't worry. Hello, Joyce. How are you? Nice of you to come in. Thank God your Wi-Fi is working. Your internet is working. So, come on, tell me. Give me your views about, if you do meet up with failure in something, what is your initial reaction and what do you do about it? What do you do about it? What is your initial reaction to failure and what do you do about it? So, if you can drop comments, that would be nice. And don't forget to click the like button. Thank you. So, come on, give me your views. If you meet up with failure, failure can be something small, something big, you know, something in between. But if you ever meet up with failure, what is your initial reaction? And then how do you deal with that failure? Let me have some kind of interaction from you about it. Then I can talk something more from my side. Yes, yes, Pita. We are waiting for your we are waiting for your videos. Like I particularly make it a point, like every day I make it a point to go through all your three channels. I go to my sister's channel, I go to your channel, Pita, and I go to Steven's channel. So I make it a point every day to go to these three channels and I see in case there's anything new, come out. Because though I've subscribed to notifications, I do not know why. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't see. I don't get a notification. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I get it sometime after about a few days. I don't know why. Come on, guys, come on. Failure, if you happen to have some kind of failure, it may be a short failure, it may be a temporary failure, it may be a small failure, but if there's something you would like to share, like what is your initial reaction and how did you cope with that situation? Steven says, I really try to assess what went wrong and try again. Okay, okay, that's right. That's very important also. You know, it's like the doctor. He has to first find out your symptoms, then he has to find out what is causing it, right? That's why he asks you 101 questions. What did you eat? Where did you go? What happened after that? What happened before that? What were you doing during that time? So, he asks you, and then he is like Sherlock Holmes. He puts all the pieces of the puzzle together, and then he comes up with a deduction, right? So, yes, very good. That is a very important point, to analyze and see what was the cause of it. So, in future, you can try to avoid going down that same road, right? You can avoid going down that same road. Of course, circumstances would be different, you know, but there's a learning example from that, right? A learning example from that. Pita says, my lucky personality doesn't linger much on failures. He has to go on no matter what. Yes, true. Yes, you have to go on. So that's a very positive outlook in life. Like they say, don't cry over spilled milk, right? It's already fallen, it's gone. So why are you worried about it, right? But then it depends sometimes also on the nature of the failure, right? It depends also something sometimes on the nature of the failure, and it may be affecting you for a couple of days. It may be affecting you for a couple of days and things like that. Now, take for example, like my example, there was just this one thing about going to Canada. All right, there was only one thing of going to Canada, and everything was hunky dory. And normally, I do my booking. I do it like about a month and a half to 2 months in advance. But usually, it's about a month and a half. Like, no, it's about 2 months. I do my booking in advance. I find that's the best rate. So I came down to about a month and a half, and then I said, no, I have to book my ticket. And then, long story short, like I was talking with my daughter, and she said, I just look into the regulations and rules and blah, 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 because I was associating. I was associating my going to Canada every 180 days was to keep my citizenship. But my daughter made me understand that no, citizenship is forever. Unless you are doing some, very serious crime or something, then they would revoke your citizenship. And if a person is born in Canada through naturalization, they are a citizen, then they can face a penalty or something like that. But that citizenship cannot be taken away from them because it's naturalized citizenship. So that cannot be taken away. But for us who have just acquired citizenship from another country, yeah, they can revoke it. They can take it away if we do something seriously wrong. So so I was associating it with that, and then she made me understand. But she said, do your due diligence. So I looked up the Canadian website. There was a lot of conflicting, statements in one site of the Canada website and in another place of the Canada website. Why I hate Canada, now why. So many reasons. So I said, okay, most of it says like, you don't have to come 180 days for the citizenship. You have to come 180 days. Means like if you want to get any benefits from Canada. So if you want health benefits, you have to be living in Canada for 5 months before you can get any health benefits. So if I'm out of the country and I just land in Canada and I go for some medical help, nobody will give me medical help. But then there is no way to check because we in Canada they don't have exit stamp and they don't have a entry stamp. They don't have that. You go to the kiosk, you go to whatever it is and do it, but there's no stamp in your passport. So who's going to go? Hundreds of people are going to the hospital. You think they got time to first verify? How they'll verify? They have to contact immigration to verify. Nobody is doing that. So you have to fill up a form, and one of the clause says, "You have been living in Canada for yes, no, yes, I've been living." Finished, no problem, right? So, so it was only for that, and it is to get your pension. Means get your pension means what? You have to be completing 10 years in the country. You should have been living 10 years in the country. But they have this stupid rule that but it's in our favor that if you stay outside Canada for less than 180 days, like you stay outside Canada for less than 180 days, and then you come back to Canada and go again, then that's counted like you have never left Canada. So, because of that, I had to keep going to Canada before every 180 days. So then I said, yay, yay, I don't have to go to Canada. I just took it on myself. I don't have to go to Canada. Wow, good. I said I completed my 10 years in December. So now I don't have to go. And I was very happy. Then I began to say, okay, I'm not going to Canada now. Where should I go? Okay, India. Let me go to India and be with my sister and meet my friend, my ex-students and all. That I failed. I had so many problems with the online. I had so many problems with the online. Finally, I went down to the office. 2 hours I spent to search for the place because they have shifted, but they have not updated online on the website. So found it after 2 years of roaming in the same vicinity, around, round and round. Then finally, they looked into it and they said like, oh, you're from Canada, you cannot do a paper based test. And I thought to myself, hello, what paper based test? One form you have to download and fill it up in black ink, and when you go to the office you have to take that form, and another form you have to fill up online. How dumb can that be? You either have both the forms online or you have both the forms paper based, right? But you're calling it paper based, but I'm bringing one form paper based, just one page form, that too. But yet online I'm filling up about 3 or 4 pages, and that is online. I have to do that, and after you do that you will get a registration number. First you get a temporary number, so you have to keep that because in case your form is half filled, and you can always come back and continue filling it. So you get a temporary number. When you finish the whole process, then you get a permanent number. So then she said no. Then I said, then what do I have to do? She said, you have to get an e-visa. So I said, but what if I face the same problem? Because one of the clauses over there is present occupation, and there's a drop down list. So I clicked on retired, but yet it says on the conceding lines, it says name of employer, business address, business phone number. All those details are given with the asterisk mark. It means compulsory to fill it up. I'm not working. I'm retired. How can I fill up those forms? And another condition, you have to be in the country from where you are applying. You have to be in that country for 2 years. So supposing I came to Thailand just as a tourist, and I was there for a month, and then I say, oh, I would like to go to India from here. I cannot go. Why? Because I have to be living in the country of application where I'm applying from. I have to be living in the country for 2 years. Then only I can apply. But when I was talking to my sister, she said the same thing is there for Dubai. If you don't not staying 2 years, but if you do not have a resident card, if you do not have a Dubai resident card, you cannot. So if I'm working, then I have a resident card, right, for the period of time that my visa covers, my work visa covers, right? So so if you don't have a resident card, my sister said, then from Dubai, if you're just come there as a tourist, you cannot. They will not issue you. India will not issue you. Other countries they issue, but India, okay. Other countries maybe they don't. I don't know. I've never applied before, but twice I've applied from Canada for India, and actually more than twice. But I applied first on my Indian passport, but then later on, when I got my Canadian passport, I traveled twice to India on my Canadian passport. So the first time the visa was stamped on my passport. The second time it was just a stamp saying e-visa. So so I had a failure there. I couldn't do it. I came home. I finally managed to do something, beat the system to it, and it went through. And then I had to make a payment, and then the payment was not going through, and then I couldn't get back to the payment page. Then next morning I tried. I still couldn't go back to the payment page. But what happened that evening? I decided, okay, I'm going tomorrow to the back to the embassy to find out what I can do. Now my form was filled up finally. I got the permanent number. But now what to do? I cannot make the payment. So what should I do? So that night I sat down to fill up my pension forms, and we have to give dates from and to. We have to give dates from and to, from the time I was 18 years old, where all I have stayed. And If you have stayed in a country for more than 6 months, then you have to put that name of the country. Otherwise, it's considered you were in the previous country, wherever it is from. So when I started to fill up, I looked from my old form I filled up, right? And I was copying. You cannot paste, you have to type the whole thing. So I was looking and doing that. And when I came towards the end, now the end I had to change, right? So when I came towards the end, that's when I realized, correct? I finished my 10 years in Dubai. I'm sorry, I finished my 10 years in December. But the last I was in Canada, I left Canada on the 4th of September. On the 4th of September, when I left Canada, I hadn't completed 10 years. I was still shortfall. So then that struck me that if I apply now, I have not yet completed my 10 years. Unless I go to Canada, then I can count this period of time that yes, I've come back to Canada before the 6 months. So after 4th September, it shows I'm still been living in Canada. So I said, wow, this is a good idea. So I have to go. And now it became last minute, right? There was just like less than a week, few days left. So now what to do? So uh, I started to look around for, shop for flight tickets. Flight tickets are so costly, so costly. At last, I saw a flight ticket for, believe this or not, for 2,900 plus. So say 3,000 Canadian dollars for a one-way trip. 3,000 Canadian dollars for a one-way trip. So I said, now what am I to do? I have to go, right? There's no two ways about it. So I went to buy the ticket. I put in my credit card, and like my credit card is kept in the folder with my passport. So I put the credit card, and it says, declined, kindly contact your bank provider. And I was wondering, what is wrong? I looked at my card again. When is the expiry date? February 2025. We are February 2024, but my card expiry date is February 2025. So why the hell has the bank made a new card for me? Why? Because when I looked into my bank account then online, I saw, huh? A new credit card number? How come? This is not the same credit card I have. A new credit card number. And that's when I looked at it minutely again. And the expiry date is February 2025. So why have they issued me a new card 1 year in advance? No, they don't do that. So I sent them a message. Next morning, still no reply from them. So I said, now what to do? Then I wrote off to my daughter, and I told my daughter, I said, do you? I may have to use your credit card, and then I can transfer the money to you later on, and all that. And my daughter said, I don't have that much money in my credit card. So now what to do? So I said, anyhow, baby, just check whether you've got any posts. She said, Dad, I'm at work now. I can only check when I go home in the evening. So I said, okay, when you go home in the evening, then you can check and let me know. Then I started now. So what if the card is not there? And when I was checking some messages on my bank account, like I was checking, suddenly I came to one message. And when I opened it, it says, okay, here is your new card. If you have received it, you can activate your card. And first, when I saw the new card number, they only had the first four digits and the last four digits, right? And they had the first four digits, then they had the next three digits, and then they had the last four digits. But in between, I didn't know the number, right? What's the number of the card? But that I only noticed afterwards. I said there's no number of the card. So when I went to check the messages, then it said like, here is your card details, and if you have received your card, then you can click here to activate it. I said, wow, yeah, very good. I got my card number. Now I can, book my ticket. So I went back to that same website. I went back to the link. I opened it. It's showing the same price. I said, okay, now let me book it. So I started like, a big hero. I started like filling up the number and all. And then it said, date of expiry. Hello? How I know the date of expiry? I cannot see the back of the card. I do not have the card. And they only give you the number. So I was able to just copy the number. Oh my God. Then I said, oh, yeah, what about the three digit secret code, security code? Oh my God. I said, now I don't have the details, so I cannot. Again, I failed, right? Now what to do? So I told my daughter, see, this is it. I just do not know what to do, what I can do. I just don't know. So kept a calm mind and thinking about alternatives. Because 26th of this month, my Thai visa is finishing and I haven't renewed it. I don't want to renew it. So I have to leave by 25th. Latest, I have to leave the country. So then a thought struck me. I can make a visa run. So on the 25th, I can leave. I'll go by road. I'll go across the border to a neighboring country. But it's far away from here. But anyhow, that's a possibility. So I'll go there because flying will be costlier. So this way, what will happen if I go by road? They will take me up to the Thailand border. I'll go there. I'll cross over. They'll give me an exit stamp. In my passport will be an exit stamp, and in the system they will record it. Then from there, I cross over from the Friendship Bridge. I enter the new country. And at the border of the new country, I present my passport, fill up the forms and all, present my passport, pay them the fee, the visa fee, and then I enter the country. Then I come back to the other counter, opposite side, and I leave the country. So now they will put the exit stamp that I've left their country. And then again, I take the transport and come back across the Friendship Bridge, come back to the Thailand border, and then I enter the Thailand border, fill up the form, and enter the Thailand border. And on the Thailand border, they will give me an entry stamp for 30 days because of the Canadian passport, a stamp for 30 days. So I can come in. So from 25th of February, I can have 30 days still in Thailand. But I left Canada on 5th of September. So by 1st of March, I have to be in Canada. I have to be in Canada by 1st of March. So that was now the second problem. First problem, I have to leave Thailand on 25th of February. But then the next problem is that even if I get a 30-day entry, but I cannot stay for 30 days because my deadline of reaching Canada is 1st of March. And I told my daughter, because my daughter said, why don't you come later on? And then I said, I cannot come later on because I left on 4th of February. So latest I can is 1st of March. 29th of February would be safer, but I'm saying latest is 1st of March. I have to be there, I said. And it is a weekday. My daughter said, like, Daddy, again, she told me, Daddy, weekday is impossible. We cannot. Because, like, they finish work at around 5:30, right? Then they have to drive for 3 hours to come and pick me up from the airport. There's no airport in there. There is a one horse town. So they have to come drive 3 hours. Then they have to drive back. There's no lights on those roads, between intercity. It's all countryside, so there's no lights. There's a lot of warning for moose and elk and bears. So you're only driving with your headlights on, and it's snow time. It's very heavy snow, very cold. So it's like asking for trouble, right? So they said, Daddy, like for our safety sake and your safety sake, so it has to be a reasonable time, to come. So that is impossible. Weekdays is impossible because they have to leave they cannot leave work early. So there I was stumped, right? There I was stumped. Again, failure. Now what to do? So anyhow, now wait. When my daughter goes home, she will let me know if she has the card or not. Then I got a message. She said, Daddy, you're very lucky. I have the card here. And that too, she was staying in a rental. Now she's bought her own house. But they did the forwarding of the mail, so that was lucky. So she said, Daddy, you're very lucky. There's the card. She sent me a picture of the card, the back of the card, had the details, everything. I went in to make the payment, 3,200 Canadian dollars. Now the fare has gone up. In most places, it was 5,000, 5,000. I was very lucky on Expedia. I got for 3,200. I quickly booked it. I didn't look. There was another. It made a big difference. There was another website, and they were offering me a ticket for $2,500. So I'm still saving 600. No, how much? $700. I'm saving, right? 2 5 and 3 2. So $700 I'm saving. That's a big amount. So, but that was like 8 hours layover in Taiwan, 8 hours layover in Taiwan, and 11 hours layover in San Francisco. I said, doesn't matter. I'm getting it less. I have time. There's no hurry for me. I have time. I have had long layovers before. Time flies. Time flies. No problem. I said, Winston, do it. You're getting it for less. But there was a hitch. The hitch was the tickets are booked separately, but then they are sent all together, like, for a continuous days. And you have to do a transfer at each stage. Each stage you have to do a transfer. So when I go from here to Seoul, I mean, to Taiwan, I have to do a self transfer. So collect my luggage, come out, go through immigration, collect my luggage, come back again, book my luggage again. But my tickets are all issued. Okay, my tickets will all be issued continuously. So 8 hours is a lot of time. That's quite a lot of time will pass in doing that. So okay, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm not sitting in one place for 8 hours, so I don't mind. But you have to do that, and then you have to do it at next at San Francisco again. You have to do that, and then going back again, you have to do that. That is a bit too much, Keeping on, keeping on doing that. It's a bit too much. That is. And then there was one more problem. What was the problem? Yeah, then with all this break journey and issuing separate tickets and all that, I said, because at each step of the way, you know, the booking will have to be, again rebook. I said, I don't know whether this is safe enough to do it or not. I didn't want to take a risk. I'll get stuck in some other country. I will lose my money. I'll have to pay more money. So what's the use of all that? No, having headaches for $700. If I get more headaches and I have to end up paying a fare, then what do I do? So I said, let it be. This is the last time I go to Canada. If I go now, I've completed my 10 years. They should give me my pension. So let it be. Now I don't have to go to Canada for a lifetime, right? But of course, I will go now and then to see my daughter, my grandkids. My granddaughter is entering her teens now. Next month, March, is her birthday. So she's entering her teens now. So, and once you enter teens, a few years and you're out. So I had failure there also, right? But I kept thinking of alternatives. So I never thought of root cause, right? I didn't think of root cause because what is the cause? The cause is like the system is against me. What can I do? I can't change the system, right? So I cannot analyze a root cause and do it. So that's why I said it's according to circumstances, it's according to what is the failure you are having. So it all depends on circumstances. So it might work one way for something, it might not work for another. So for me, it was more like thinking, okay, this is failed. What's the solution? What's the solution? What's the solution? That's what I kept talking about. In my mind, it was solution. I have to be positive. Solution. You know, failure is there. I failed, finished. I cannot do anything about that. I tried to go to embassy. I tried to go and do. I cannot. They are not offering any advice. And like that lady told me, I said, okay, if I still have the problem, what do I do? She think I don't know. I said, what? She's saying, yeah, I don't know. I said, oh, that means what about India trip? She's saying that means you cannot go to India. Oh, I said, thank you so much. Wow, what a good solution you gave me. Right, then I cannot go to India. Thank you, thank you. Kopkun kap, for Thai, because it was a Thai person doing that, but she was going in and asking somebody, definitely an Indian worker there. So I just said, thank you so much, with a big smile on my face. Wow, good answer. Thank you so much. And I left. Inside, I felt like saying, I feel like giving you one, like, but, outside you have to control yourself. So it's that way. But I was like fuming inside. So nicely, like, oh, what do you do? "No, then you cannot go to India." Oh, yes, very good. I'm wanting to go, but you cannot go to India. No, I have to find a way to go, right? So anyhow, so I kept looking for solutions, right? For me it was finding a solution. So I came up with so many ideas and so many solutions, right? What to do. Anyhow, now long story short, book it, $3,200, book it. Now I want to take two baggages, but the system is only allowing me one baggage, and it says after your booking you can book the second baggage. Believe me or not, for last 2 days I've been checking where to book the second baggage. I've gone into the Air Canada website. I've gone everywhere. Finally, I got done. Yesterday, I went out with my friend to meet my Australian friend, my teacher's training batchmate. I came home in the evening. I began to look at some numbers. It was already too late. So today I called Air Canada. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. I called Air Canada, Bangkok Airport. All right. I called the Air Canada office of Bangkok Airport. I said, this is my problem. Can I give you my booking reference number? And she said, but what is the issue? I said, I have booked my ticket, and the ticket says after booking the ticket, I have to go to the airlines again, and then I can book a second baggage. So I'm asking you, how do I book a second baggage? Oh, she said, I'm so sorry. Today the offices are closed. What? This is an office at the Bangkok airport. They should be open 24/7 to people, right? She's saying, no, it is closed. It's the weekend, so it is closed. You will have to call the international number. I said, excuse me, I am in Thailand. I am in Bangkok. Why am I calling an international number? And she said, sorry, sir, you have to do that. You have to call international number because we are closed for the weekend. Does it make sense? Can someone explain to me if that makes sense? It doesn't make sense to me. So, does that make sense? I don't know. Not to me. Then I said the only alternative now is go to the airport. So I said, let it be. I don't have to do my live stream. I'll go to the airport to find out. But the trouble is, I also have packing to do. Now, if I go to the airport, I'm not going to take a taxi. It's very costly. So to go to the airport, I'll take the bus. And anyhow, like it's anyhow, it'll be traffic. I'll be stuck in traffic. But with the buses will go faster than the taxi. That's the difference. The buses go faster. They drive like crazy. And if there's nobody at a bus stop, they won't stop. But the taxi has to keep to all the rules and regulations. So I would reach faster by a bus. But then I'm going to take a couple of hours to go there and come back. And then I'll be rushing through my packing. I want to finalize my packing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one baggage, which I had planned in the beginning, one baggage to Canada and leave it there. But why I was going with two baggages? Because from Canada, if I get a visa to India, then I will travel to India, meet my ex-students, meet my sister and all that, and I can go there. And then from there, I can fly to the Philippines when my accommodation is ready in June. So good plan, right? But now everything is going wrong for me. Failure, right? Everything is going wrong. My plans are just not working out. So now I've come down to, okay, you got to take one bag. I cannot take the website is also saying you can still bring the baggage to the airport and you can book, because at the airport you book extra baggage, they very heavy charge, right? But if you're doing it online, but they said no, you can come at the airport and on at the kiosk, you can, before the flight takes off and all those kind of things, like you can still book it at this same concession rate, like an online rate. But you tell me, if I take my second baggage and then I face some problems there and I cannot book it because, whatever reason, like now I cannot book it online. So some reason I cannot book it there. What do I do with that extra baggage? The airline will benefit because I'll be paying through my nose to take that baggage with me, the second one. I'll have to pay such a heavy, very expensive at the airport per kg they charge you. Because who do I leave my baggage with? How do I send my baggage back again? There's no way. My flight is there. I cannot come back, leave the baggage, and then go. So now I called this morning, and this is the problem. Now I don't have the time to go there just to find out what is the situation, what is the thing. And 10 to 1 now, another reason why I hate Canada. Another reason why I hate Canada. A simple matter which can be resolved by them. There's no solution. I'm finding solution, but they cannot have a solution for me. It's so stupid. What kind of stupid rules are these? So, okay, I said, fine. Now I'm going to pack up, and then I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep all my things that I really don't require. My necessity is that what do I need in if I settle down in Philippines? What do I need? That is what one bag. I need one piece of baggage, and one trolley bag, and my laptop bag. That's it. So it's easy to travel if I'm going anywhere. I just take my trolley bag and go, visiting anywhere, some other cities or something. One trolley bag is enough to fly with, right? And internal flights also, they charge you extra for baggage. So why will I cut a big baggage? Just take one trolley bag you're allowed on board. So carry one trolley bag, even if you have to pay for it take it on board the flight. It's one small bag. It's okay. Take a few things, a change of clothes and everything, and just go visiting the cities and go around or something. I've traveled to Canada on one trolley bag. Why? Because I have clothes in Canada. I kept a full set of clothes, towels, you name it, I've got there. Okay, only my toothbrush I carry, but I can buy a toothbrush there. And toothpaste also I keep there only. Everything is kept. Soap and all that is all there. But of course, those things I can always buy from there. That's nothing great, But I'm saying but clothes and all, everything is there. Everything is there. So I don't have to take clothes and this. Only my shoes I have to take, of course. So I have gone with one trolley bag and come back with one trolley bag. And that's when I told you at Canadian airport, one trolley bag, go to Red Channel. Go to Red Channel. Twice it happened. Go to Red Channel. One trolley bag, Red Channel. Anyhow, I've mentioned that story before. Hate Canada. I hate, detest Canada. So finally, that's what I'm going to do now. So I said, pointless going to the airport. Again, I'm quite I am accepting failure before I go there also. I need to be positive. I like to be positive, but because it is Canada, I'm ready. I don't want to waste my time there and rush there, rush back again, then do my packing and all that. I don't want to do all that. And I want to be calm, relaxed, peaceful, because as it is, I get very jittery before a flight. I get jittery till I'm finally in the aircraft. Once I'm finally in the aircraft, everything is good. Because last time what happened when I was going Philippines and all that, no, Japan and all that. At the airport over here, now normally they screen the baggage, everything, whatever you're doing, and it's going. You do pass through security and all that. And before you come to your lobby, your gate, okay, before you come to the gate, and before you go down to board the aircraft, down is the lounge. So before you go, they started something new. Again, another security check. They're checking your baggage again. And I said, what the crap is this, man? Like from the time I left the security till now, is there any weapons or bombs or anything available in the airport for me to buy and keep? I don't understand. I don't understand. Never before they had this extra security check, and now suddenly they had it. I don't know whether they'll have it now, but they had it. Oh, anyhow, I said, you do what you have to do. I do what I have to do. Open my bag and check what the hell. I got nothing inside. So they checked it. So just go with the flow, go with the flow. Stressing doesn't bother. It only harms you. So just do it. So so many problems like this. So now I will just do that one baggage. I will take it with me. So whatever is not going to Cebu, that will have to go to Canada. And I hope it is 23 kilos. If it's not, I just throw it in the dustbin. I just throw it in the dustbin. Period. Throw it. As it is, I have so many utensils, because I used to do my own cooking, pans, or so many things like that. All that I'm going to just leave here. These people want to use it, they can use it. And mostly the people are not well to do, so they can use it, no problem. So I will just leave all that over here. They can use it. I've got a fan. I've got a fridge. I've got a fridge also, but I just have to leave it. So it's okay, no problem. So that's what I've decided, okay, to do. But then, on another hand, on another note, I began to think of something. Where I'm staying, the rent is cheap, right? I took it because I was traveling for two months. I didn't want to pay a lot of rent for 2 months, right? I just wanted to keep my stuff around, so I chose this accommodation. Another thing I chose it is because if I wanted a nice, very good, decent, studio apartment or something like that, I have to take a 6 months contract, and I plan not to stay here. Correct? I plan not to stay here. February my visa ends, I go. So like I came back now, third week of October. So from third week of October to third week of February, it doesn't complete 6 months, right? November, December, Jan, Feb, 4 months. 4 months only. So it doesn't complete 6 months. So why should I take a 6 month contract and pay 2 months extra a high rent? So I took this rent. So I'm just managing here because it is temporary. But now what I'm thinking is I will leave my luggage here in my room. I will leave everything in my room. I'll go to Canada, submit my pension papers and everything. And then if I cannot get a visa to India, if I cannot get a visa to India, I will come back because my baggage is here, right? Now, where they will take my bags, where they will keep it, everybody's houses are small over here, right? Like a studio. So everybody's house is small. Where will they keep it? I don't know. But they have said, okay. But I said, better I pay the rent. So now I will go to Canada. I will go to Canada. Maximum I will stay for a month. And then if I can't go to India, I'll book a ticket and come back to Bangkok. I'll get a 30-day visa when I come. Then I can extend it for another 30 days. So I'll pay 2,000 bucks, 2,000 local currency I'll pay. I'll extend it for another 30 days. And by then it will be time for me to go to Philippines. Solution? Yes, best solution. Now, if I'm going from um Canada to India, I get the visa and I'm going to India, then what do I do? Well, I have some clothes over there. I'll put the bare minimum, wash and wear, wash and wear, wash and wear. So I'll take my jeans, I'll take a few t-shirts, that's all I need, my hairbrush, that's all I need. And I will fly to India. So it will be where I don't even know if I'm allowed a trolley bag. It's not saying a trolley bag on my aircraft, but I'm taking a trolley bag. If they say no, I'll throw that trolley bag there. What to do? I'll say, here, take it, a gift for you and your family trolley bag. I'll empty it out and take it. So if I get a ticket to India, I'll put it in my backpack. That's it, my backpack and my laptop, and I'll travel to India. So I'll take a few clothes from there and I'll go, and my jeans. And then I'll come back to Thailand. I come back to Thailand, pick up my baggage, and then go to Philippines. So you see how much my rule. I'm just waiting to settle down somewhere and get back to normal life. I'm still at the crossroads of my life. So I've given you a big long story about my failures, right? Just with this one trip now of leaving Thailand to settle in Philippines. So many problems, so many issues. But what to do? That's it. Now my daughter suggested, first there was a little problem, but my daughter just sent me a message this morning. I saw it. And she said, Dad, instead of wasting money, flying in and out and things like that, you stay here till month of May. You stay here till month of May. And then in June you can go, fly wherever you want. Then. But now it is an extra trip because I have to fly back to Bangkok. Otherwise, I could have flown direct to Cebu, right, from Canada. But now it's a little added expense because I'll have to come back to Bangkok. And then from Bangkok, I'll have to go to Cebu. But what to do? Circumstances are such, right? Then there's no better solution I have. If any of you think there is a better solution, please give it to me. I'll be most happy. Hello, Iya. How are you? How are you, Iya? All right. So some comments now. I sorry, Mike, that was very long. I had to just mention everything about it. So, Sir Stephen, ma'am. Hello, Sir Burton. Just now back or electric power after my life. Sorry for being late. Why sorry? Why you keep saying sorry? Nothing to be sorry about. You know, I know you would be here. I know you would be here if possible. And I know all about the brownouts. So no need of sorry, okay? Yes, life is short. Yeah, life is short. So I don't want to stress. I don't get. I just be happy. Be happy. Don't worry. Joy says, "Sir, in my country, some persons have dual citizenship." Joyce, Canada allows dual citizenship. India doesn't allow dual citizenship. India doesn't allow dual citizenship. So when I got my Canadian passport, I had to cancel my Indian citizenship, and if I traveled on my Indian passport without declaring, and they came to know, I would face a very, very hefty fine, and they would cancel my Indian passport anyhow. So there were no two ways about it, Joyce. I had to cancel the Indian passport. But they have another thing, what they call an OCI, Overseas Citizen of India. But that's a very long process. It's a long formality to get that done, and the present Prime Minister of India is not very happy. Like for him, it is like, if you have left India, please bugger off. Don't come back to this country. Okay, that is his attitude. So he's making things more difficult. And just yesterday, I heard now that Canadians are being stopped from going to Canada, from going to India. Canadians, there's some problem going on between India and Canada. So Canadians have been Modi, the Prime Minister of India, is now stopping Canadians from coming. So they are making it very difficult for Canadians to enter India. So even though I may be of Indian origin, but now since I'm Canadian, traveling on a Canadian passport, they made it difficult. That is why I'm also facing a problem to go to India, because my nationality is Canadian. Because has the Prime Minister is making it difficult for Canadians to come. I don't know what's the war going on between Justin Trudeau and Modi, but anyhow, you see, we citizens are in the middle, and it's definitely some policy of Canada. I won't blame India. Some Canada, this bloody Canada is painful, painful. My wife was getting disability because she couldn't work, right? Because she had ALS. She couldn't work. Disability. What she's getting for disability? 120 Canadian dollars. Tell me, what can anyone do with 120 Canadian dollars for a month? It won't even get her a 1 week's food. Forget about anything else. And we went to see for extra grant, and where all we went. And finally, we were told by the government, and literally, this is what the government told us. I'm not lying. This is what they told us. Oh, according to our records, they pull up now our record. According to your record, you are owning a condo. Yes, I'm owning a condo, but I'm paying a 30-year mortgage on the condo. No, but you own a condo. Okay. I'm the only person working. My wife cannot work. Yes, but still, you have a job. You're earning good salary for your job. No, what good salary? 20. I was earning $25 an hour. I started with $14 an hour. After 4.5 years, I was earning 24 something. So say $25 an hour. You tell me it's $25 an hour working 35 hours a week. Make your calculation and tell me, is it good to stay in a paying your mortgage, paying your utilities, paying for your food, paying for travel, paying for medication, 101 things? No, it's not. It's not enough. Today I can go to Canada and I could get work. I could get work. But my security job, and I lost that $24 job, right? I lost a $24 job. I had to go and take a security job, which was paying $14 an hour. That was before tax. After tax, I was getting 11.50 an hour. After tax, 11.50 an hour. What am I getting pay packet? No pay packet I'm getting to take home. I cannot live there. I cannot live there. On my pension, when I get my pension, I'll not be able to live there. I will not be able to live there. My pension will go just for accommodation. Not even accommodation. Accommodation will be more than my pension. Just to get a rental basement apartment, my that will be more than the pension I get. So you see, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So this is it. Now this is my plan. Leave my baggage. I will pay the rent here, monthly rent. I will have no utilities to pay. Who's using light? Who's using electricity? Who's using water? Correct? Nobody's using electricity and water. The room will be locked. So I will be saving on that, right? So I thought that is the best solution for now. Best solution for now. Pay the rent here. It's nothing much. I'll pay the rent over here and come back after one month. Come back after 1 month. Only thing, the weather's getting hotter, and it really gets terrible over here. So if I can go to India and stay, I'll stay there. But I'll keep paying the rent for these next 3 months. I'll pay the rent over here. It doesn't matter. Like last time, I paid the rent for 2 months, right? When I was traveling, it doesn't matter. It's affordable. It's affordable. And like my daughter said, Daddy, stay here till May. Don't go anywhere and spend money. You don't have to spend any money here. We can take care of all that. And yes, you just stay, and then when you have to go, wherever you have to go, you go. So that's the story. Now, I think there was something before somebody mentioned also about today's theme. I'm sorry I speak so much about myself, but it's just that I have to finish the whole process, right? For that. So I have to just inform you, like give you a concrete example, instead of just having examples in the air, I've given you a concrete example, Okay, so it looks like there were not much comments to add. So Stephen had mentioned that finding out the cause of the problem and then trying to rectify that is important. And Pita had said that she's a easy-go-lucky person in life. So just to move on, had a failure, doesn't matter. You just move on. And that's why I even said last time, failures are stepping stones to success, right? Failures are stepping stones to success. So it doesn't matter. You will become more successful in life. You will learn a lot from your failures. Stephen also says failure promotes personal growth, and Pita seconds it, right? It promotes personal growth. It helps you to overcome your problems. It will help you to give solutions faster. Like for me now, I've reached a stage where if I have a problem, okay, I know what's the problem, all right? So what can I do to beat the problem? I tried it. Nothing is there to beat it. So finished. Find a solution, find an alternative. And now I've learned, because I always say I keep backup plans from A to Z. It's like that. So if one thing fails, I'm just moving on to the next. I just move on to the next. I don't even reflect. I don't even think now. Finished. I cannot do it. No more thinking about that. Next step. What should I do? Next step. What should I do? So see how many plans now are there, at least. But if it was sure, then I know I could go to Canada. I would have stayed for 1 month. I already done a booking to India. Go to India, stay there for 2 months, and then come back here and then pack up and go. Or if my baggage could be taken, then I keep go with two baggages. Keep one baggage in Canada, take one baggage and go off to, because normally tickets are including one baggage, right? So take my baggage, go to India, stay there 2 months. Then from India, fly directly to Cebu. I don't come back to Thailand. Fly directly to Manila and then to Cebu. And I take that one baggage with me. Simple, easy, right? But it's not working out that way. It's not working out because I have so many uncertainties happening. Uncertainties. Will I get the India visa? Doubtful. With the present situation between the heads of both the countries. So I doubtful I will get it. So even if I stay 3 months in Canada, then I have to make this trip to Thailand and then to Philippines. Whereas from Canada, I could fly directly back to Philippines. The same sector, right? Whether I come to Bangkok or go to Manila, it's the same route, So I'm wasting money, right? Coming here and then going. But what to do? Circumstances are such at the moment that I have no other alternative, right? No alternative. So let me see how things go. What to do? Yesterday, I wanted to do my laundry, but I was going out. Now, I don't want to be selfish. They've got some common clothes, stands to dry the clothes. So I've always been doing laundry on a weekday because I say weekend people are at home, they are working. So leave the laundry day for them, right? Correct. So, plus, there is a laundrette machine in the other place. Two machines are there. So, on a weekend, people must be doing a lot. So I do it on the weekend, a weekday. But yesterday I was going out. Now it's okay. I could still do it. It was Friday. I could do my laundry, put the clothes out to dry, and go there. And I'm returning in the evening, going morning, returning evening. But then I am like a dog in the manger because my clothes will be out in the sun, and nobody else can dry their clothes. My clothes will be dry in a few hours, right? Nobody else will be able to dry their clothes. So I always do it on a day when I'm home. I do my laundry. Why? In a couple of hours, my clothes are dry. I go outside. I see what is dry, bring them in. After some time, go and see are the others dry now because linen, my towels and all take a little longer. My jeans would take a little longer. So according to that. So I'll go and check it and all that, and then say, okay, bring in as is dry, bring it in. So and then move all onto as much as possible onto one stand. So others, if they have washed, they can come and dry their clothes as well on the other stands. They can dry. So, I always think of others before I think of myself. So that way. But now, yesterday, I was going out. So I don't want my clothes to be there like a dog in the manger, and nobody else can dry clothes there. And who will take down my clothes? Nobody will take it down and keep it with them in their house and all that. So nobody will do that. So I said, let it be. I'll do it today. But today is Saturday. My policy is that people who are not going to work will do. You won't believe. I set my alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, 4 o'clock in the morning. By the time I sorted out the clothes and everything, I took it there and on, got it washed. It takes 1 hour for washing. Went, collected my clothes. So it was about 4:30 by the time I finished all the paraphernalia. Then went there, put my clothes. 5:30 went and brought the clothes, put it out to dry, brought some clothes inside, and now after the live stream, I will bring the remaining clothes inside. Whatever is dry, I will bring. Mostly it will be dry by now. So yes, I got up 4 o'clock in the morning just to do the laundry. So beat the crowd, beat the crowd. And I brought some clothes in now, so stands are free, so they can, dry some of their clothes there. I'm doing this live, so I cannot just leave it and go there. So anyhow, after my live, I will go and collect it, all the remaining clothes. Then I have to start with the packing. My things are more or less packed, but now I have to remove everything and make sure what I'm putting in is what I'm putting in. That's it, finished. And still at the back of my mind, there is a nagging thought. Maybe I will still make a trip to the airport. For me, try, right? Though I'm saying like I'm ready to give up, but I'll still try, finish all this, and then I'll make a trip to the airport. So maybe I won't do live stream in the evening. Maybe I won't do live stream in the evening. Uh, So I will just, and I don't want to do any video shooting or do a live stream because I'm going to the airport tomorrow. So I will do a video shoot. I won't do a live stream because, I'm so busy with 101 things till I finally check in. Once I check in, I can do a live stream once I'm checked in, and I have gone through security and all, then I can do a live stream till my flight takes off. So say till 8:35 is my flight, so we would begin boarding say by 8 o'clock. So up to 8 o'clock, I can do some shooting. I can have a live stream also, no problem. So most probably tomorrow. So you can see the airport and all. Live stream is better than a video. So I can do a morning live stream, tomorrow. So that is how it is. So I think I've answered whatever questions anybody is asking. Yeah, it means whatever thoughts you have given, right? I've covered that. But if there's anything else you want to mention, please go ahead. If any of you would like to mention a particular, failure, it would be nice. Giving a concrete example would be so much better. So you tell us what was it, like how I gave mine was so many failures now, right? But like I mentioned each thing and I gave like what was my reaction to it and what did I do about it, right? So it becomes more meaningful when you actually talk about something. That's why last time I told Magenda, if you can tell me a specific failure, then perhaps we can discuss something more related to that instead of just a general. So if any of you would like to share, right, any particular failure you faced and what was your reaction and how you dealt with it, um, we can have a discussion about that. Joy says government policies are a pain in the neck. Telling me, I thought that if you were born in India, you could go back anytime you want. No, the present prime minister is a very, very snooty person. In fact, for him, he's a Hindu. So for him, he wants to keep only Hindus. Christians, Muslims, any other sect, get out of India. That is his policy. If you're not a Hindu, get out of India. So strong is his policy. Believe me, that is his policy. Yeah, I'm in Thailand now. Yeah. Stephen, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, 8:35. 8:35 is my flight tomorrow, direct from here, direct to Canada. About 13 hours, 50 minutes, about 14 hours direct flight. 14 hours. Good. It's a direct flight. Then I have about 3.5 hours halt in Vancouver. Then from Vancouver, I take another flight and I go to Calgary. Then I have another 3.5 hour halt in Calgary, and then I reach Grand Prairie at 5:40 in the evening. So because I have no other alternative, and these are the only flights, but it is a Saturday, so my daughter and husband, they can drive, they can drive earlier and reach there at 5:40, but we are driving back again in the dark. We have to drive back in the dark. So poor things, they are ready to sacrifice that because there's no flight coming in at any other time. It would mean it would mean I'd have to take And you know the flight from Bangkok to Vancouver only. Bangkok to Vancouver. Stop there. And then I can stay there like from morning till the next morning and take the next morning 6 o'clock flight. And that will come into Grand Prairie by noon. So that would be fantastic for them. But I would have to leave on the 24th, right? Because then I have to stay at Vancouver airport overnight, like almost 24 hours stay at Vancouver airport, and then take a morning flight on 25th. So I would have to leave on 24th. But on 24th, today, if I had to leave, the ticket was 5,000 Canadian dollars, 5,000 plus for one way fare. 5,000 plus for one way fare if I had to leave today. If I had to leave on 23rd, yesterday, again it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like how much? $7,000 flight. $7,000 for a one way flight yesterday. For today it was 5,000. For tomorrow it is 3,200. So I had to book that. But if I booked only Bangkok to Vancouver, that was 5,000 in itself also. So why I'll pay 5,000 for that when 5,000 I could go all the way to Grand Prairie, right? But then I told my daughter that baby, it's 5,000 something for one way. Here this is 3,200. I better take this one. So she said, Daddy, don't worry. We understand. You come. We'll manage. We'll manage. Magenta, long life for you. I've been talking about you so much. Yes, yes, Stephen, correct. I'm in Thailand. Failures, never mind. Just fill yours, whatever, less to be more. Magenta, I don't worry about failures. I keep finding solution. That is mine. I don't worry because I know what's the cause of the failure. You know, it's the system. I cannot beat the system, right? Where I try to beat it, but if I cannot, I just carry on. I look for solutions. That's what I do. I look. You fail, you fail. Find a solution. Alternative. What can you do? That is important. That is why I wonder. I thought he is in Canada. Yeah, not just you. Pita sent me a message in the morning. Sorry, Pita, I have to say it. Pita sent me in the morning. Oh, Winston, you are. No, when did she send me? Yesterday. Yesterday, she said in the evening. Oh, Winston, you are in daylight now and we are in night. And I said, Pita, I'm leaving on Sunday morning. And then she said, Oh my God, I thought you are already in Canada. And she's writing, Oh, Winston, you are now in daylight and we are in night. And I said, No, I'm leaving on Sunday morning. Oh my God. So, yeah, you're thinking the same. Not, so it's okay. All Filipinos think alike. All Filipinos think alike. That's why I wonder. I thought he is in Canada. If I'm in Canada, you won't find this wall. Where's my backdrop? I took down my backdrop. But I'm looking now. The wall is not so bad. The wall is not so bad. I thought it looks, but it's not looking that bad. So it's okay. I can do it with the wall. No need of my backdrop because my backdrop is falling on my head. Right? Yesterday it was falling on my head. The wall gets very hot, and I'm at the corner. Right? I'm at the corner. If I was somewhere in between, it would be cooler. That's another reason. If I was in between, it would be cooler because I've got houses on both sides. But here, I'm the corner unit. So because I'm the corner unit, I've got it's all open behind. So the sunlight is coming direct on the wall. It gets very, very hot. Very, very hot. And these walls are like out of, like how you have in Philippines, those blocks, no? I think it's like that only. See, like hollow. It's like hollow. So I think it's those hollow blocks. So that's why I get the sunlight here. So Magenta, would you want to share with me any particular failure you had? Any particular failure and then we can discuss about how to overcome it in future if ever, like or what to do, or something like that. So any specific failure, like how I said about all my specific failures just now, all in connection with leaving Thailand. God will, I have to come back to Thailand. Okay. So Majenda, last time you just said about a failure, and I asked you. So do you want to tell us any specific failure you had, where you or somebody else had, and we can discuss that. It's always best to say, "Oh no, my friend had this." So how would you deal with it, right? Okay, Steven says something. Leave Thailand on Sunday morning and arrive in Canada on Sunday evening. Yes, because of the time difference. Steven, because of the time difference. From here to Vancouver, it is a 14-hour difference. It is a 14-hour difference. So I travel back in time. I travel back in time. Now, when Stephen, when I'm coming from Thailand, when I'm coming from Thailand to Canada, all right. When I'm coming from Thailand to Canada, I'm sorry. When I'm coming from Canada to Thailand back again, let's say, okay, I'm flying from Canada to Thailand. I will leave Canada. Let's say I leave Canada on Sunday morning. I leave Canada on Sunday morning, or I leave Canada on Sunday night. If I leave Canada on Sunday morning, I will arrive Thailand. I will arrive Thailand on Monday night. If I leave Canada on Sunday morning, I will arrive Thailand on Monday night. If I leave Canada on Sunday night, if I leave Canada on Sunday night, I will arrive Thailand on Tuesday morning. If I leave Canada on Sunday night, I will reach Thailand on Tuesday morning. Plus 2 days. It's like plus 2 days because of the time difference. I remember when I was in school, we studied about time zones. According to the longitudes, we studied about time zone. Each longitude is 4 minutes. Each longitude is 4 minutes, and each 15 degrees longitude is 1 hour difference in time. That's why US, how many longitudes in US? It's very vast, correct? So you cannot have one standard time for US. So it's broken up into many standard times, right? Canada, same way. Eastern Standard Time is only for Ontario. Now we are in a different standard time because Vancouver, like Nova Scotia to British Columbia, it's too vast, no? Just like America, it's very vast. So there are many longitudes, so the time difference is a lot. So you cannot have one time zone for the country. So it is like that. If you travel from east coast of America, of US, to the west coast of US, apart from the travel time, there is a difference in the time zone as well. So because of that, Stephen, yes, I leave here on Saturday morning. Sorry, I leave here on Sunday morning, but I reach Canada on Sunday evening because of the time difference. So actually, what it is that, like now, for example, Stephen, now it is 11:30 in the morning for me, but it's 11:30 in the night, Saturday 11:30 morning for me. Now, Saturday 11:30 morning for me. For you, it is Friday 11:30 night, right? For you, it is Friday 11:30 night. So we are 12 hours difference. For Thailand and Vancouver, it is a 14-hour difference. Toronto was 12 hours. Toronto is on the same thing, on the same longitude like New York and Ohio, I guess, with a 12-hour difference. But Vancouver is way further west. So Vancouver, the time difference is 14 hours. Thailand and Vancouver is 14 hours difference. So that is why. So right, that's right. Because like now it's 11:30 Saturday morning for me, but it's 11:30 Friday night for you. So my journey altogether with the layovers, my journey is almost 24 hours. It's 23 hours something, 23 hours plus some minutes, and it's like almost 24 hours. So when I am leaving here, I'm leaving here on in the morning, right? I'm leaving here in the morning. Actually, when I'm leaving here in the morning, what is the time in Canada? I'm leaving here Sunday morning at 8:35 is my flight, right? I'm leaving Sunday morning at 8:30. What is the time in Canada? In Vancouver, the time will be 6:30 Friday, when 6:30 Saturday evening. When I leave here on Sunday morning at 8:30, when I leave here on Sunday morning, let me just write that down so it, if I'm talking, it can be confusing, right? I leave Thailand on Sunday morning at 8:30, let's say. Okay. The time in Canada is, when I'm leaving Thailand, the time in Canada, let me make it specific. The time in Vancouver, Canada is 6:30 p.m. Saturday. When I'm leaving on Sunday morning at 8:30, the time in Vancouver, at that time in Vancouver, Canada, the time is 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. So I'm going to be traveling for 24 hours. So I reach there on Sunday at 5:40 in the evening. I reach there on Sunday at 5:40. So though I'm leaving at 5:40 in the morning, I'm reaching Canada time. I'm reaching at 5:40 in the evening. It's about 24 hours, right? 23 plus something. So say 24 hours. So I'm reaching there at that time. So when I'm leaving here on Sunday morning at 8:30, in Canada, the time is showing 6:30 evening Saturday. So 6:30 evening Saturday is the time in Canada when I am leaving Thailand. And therefore 24 hours means I should reach there at 6:30. So I'm reaching there 5:40 in the evening on Sunday. It's almost a 24-hour journey for me. Okay, so that will solve the problem. So same way when I'm coming back. Let's take for example if I'm coming back. So I leave Canada at 8:30 a.m. on let's call it 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Okay. At that time, it is 8:30 a.m. So here it will be, at that time it is 10:30. So at that time it is 10:30 p.m. Uh, Monday in Thailand. 24 hours flying time. So I will land in Thailand on 10:30 p.m. Tuesday. So though I'm leaving, okay, so that is out. So it's like becomes 2 days. So it's like It's like I'm leaving on Sunday, but I arrive here on Tuesday. I lose a day. And that's why, in geography, when I was studying in school, and that's how we were taught, go east, you gain a day, travel west, you lose a day. So I'm leaving Sunday morning, I'm traveling for 24 hours, so it should be Monday, but I'm reaching again on Sunday. So and then I will still have Monday. So when you travel east, you gain time, you gain a day. When you travel west, you lose a day. The thing was good. I was good in math, so I never had. But students, when they had to work out calculation for international date line, it was very confusing to them. Very, very confusing to them. But each longitude is 4 minutes. A 15-degree longitude is 1 hour difference in the country. So I think if they have more than 2 or 3 hours, then they have to have different standard times. Yes, I'm traveling in a time capsule. Yes, traveling in the time capsule. When I travel east, I get an extra day, right? I get an extra day because when I'm traveling from here, I should be arriving on. I'm traveling on Sunday morning, right? So I should be arriving on Monday morning in Canada because 24 hours. But because of the time difference, I'm arriving on Sunday evening in Canada. So I still have an extra day. I'm arriving on Sunday. I still have Monday. But when I'm coming back, I leave on Sunday. And where does Monday go? Monday disappears. Because when I leave on Sunday, I'll come back to Thailand on Tuesday. I leave Canada on Sunday. I come back to Thailand on Tuesday. Where's Monday? Gone. It's gone in the time difference. Ah, Pita, you just finished your lunch. Yes, 12:40 for you. 12:40 for you. Right. In Jamaica, it's 11:30 Friday night now. Yes, same like Stephen. Jamaica, same like Stephen in Ohio. Yeah, same like Stephen. He also same time. And Toronto has the same time. New York has the same time. So we are all along the same. We are all along the same longitude. Let me Google. Let me just Google and see what is the longitude, because the time difference is according to the longitude, not the latitudes. So it's according to the longitudes. I was a good student in geography in school. Then I even taught geography and history, but I don't like history. In I had to take history up to grade 10, and then when I went to grade 11, so uh, yes, let's look at this first. So I was good in geography, but in grade 10, I gave up history and I took math. I gave up history and I took math. Uh, longitude of longitude of Toronto. Why are they giving the latitude? I want only the longitude. Okay. So now I'm going to ask, I'll copy this and I'll ask which countries, which cities, which cities Okay, let's see what comes for this. It will be very interesting. Okay, let's see what this is giving. See what information this is giving. Strange. They are not giving that information. They are not giving alternate units. See also notes. They are not giving the countries. It's so strange. Okay, maybe I should be taking. Maybe I should be taking the whole thing. 1 minute. Let me just check. 42 degrees north. Oh, longitude is a different one. Copy. Let me see now whether this will give me the right one. It's so difficult to use a phone. Okay, they're not really saying, but I think it's on the 43 degrees north. So all of us, Ohio, your Spanish town, Jamaica, and all that is Vancouver. Vancouver is 3 hours behind Ohio. Okay, it's 3 hours behind Vancouver. That is because of the winter timing now. I think because of the winter timing now, it is 3 hours behind. It might change to 4 hours during the summer timing. Do you have daylight saving time in Ohio, Stephen? Do you have daylight saving time in Ohio? You're talking about also. You're talking about Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver. I will be going to Alberta. Yes, you have daylight saving time. Yes, you're talking about Vancouver. Vancouver is in. Vancouver is, yes, because Alberta is closer. Alberta is one province before Vancouver. Vancouver is British Columbia. Vancouver is British Columbia, and Alberta is one country uh, before one country to the east of British Columbia. Okay, let me just Google one more thing then. Just hang on, I'll do it on my laptop. It's faster, I don't like this grubby fingers typing on the phone, and it's so difficult. Okay. Okay, Steven, the time difference between Ohio and Calgary is 2 hours. That's what I was telling you, no? I was telling you because between Vancouver is British Columbia. So there is still a 1 hour difference between Vancouver and Calgary. Between Vancouver and Calgary, there is still a 1 hour difference. So because between Calgary and Toronto, there is a 2 hour difference. I know there is a 2 hour difference between Calgary and Vancouver, a 3 hour difference between Calgary and Toronto. So 2 hour difference between Toronto and Calgary, and 3 hours difference between Toronto and Vancouver. Because Vancouver is in British Columbia. So that's why uh, when I'm in Alberta, I will be like 2 hours behind you. So Toronto, Ohio, and Spanish Town, Jamaica, like they are all on the same longitude. So that's why you are all having the same time. So like when it's 11:30 for you, 11:30 night, it's also 11:30 night uh, for Joyce in Jamaica, and it's also 11:30 night for people in Toronto, Ontario. So you're all along the same longitude, so same time. Yeah, I was good in geography, but in my final year of school, all right, when I was doing the whole Cambridge ISC Cambridge, uh, the teacher I had for geography was a lousy teacher. Okay, he used to explain. He had to later on only I came to know we had to study physical geography as well, and one of the main things was we had to study about things like uh, gradients and straddles, and all the mountainous stratosphere. We had to study about all that, the distances, how to measure, and lots of things. And I'm sure he did not know about all that part of geography because he hardly taught us that. He used to skip those kind of things, and that was a whole section in the geography paper. So believe me or not, for all my tests and all my internal school exams in grade 11 for geography, I used to score only 35%, not 1 mark less, not 1 mark more. It was very strange. A test, an exam internally, I used to score only 35%, not 1 mark more, not 1 mark less. Now, I'm not correcting the paper, right? My teacher's correcting, but yet I used to only score 35 throughout. And when I appeared for my board exam, I failed in geography and I got 35% also for my board exam. How? Why had that 35% chased me all along? But I failed. And I remember going to my principal. I told my principal, I don't like the teacher. I'm not going to pass in this geography. And, for ISC, for the old Cambridge education, minimum we had to take was 6 subjects. Not sorry, minimum we had to take was 5 subjects. Minimum we had to take was 5 subjects. But they used to tell us, the school set a thing like minimum six subjects. The school set minimum six subjects, because by chance if we fail in any subject, they will count the ISC board, okay, the Cambridge board, they will count your best five subjects. But there were conditions in that. If you fail in English, you fail the exam. If you fail in English, you can get a first division grade. But if you fail in English, you will fail the whole exam. Next, if you fail in the national language, we had to study Hindi, right? National language. So that was our second language. We had to study, it's compulsory. You fail in you fail in Hindi, you fail in the national language, the second language. If you fail in that, no matter what marks you get in all, you will get distinction in all the other subjects. But if you fail in the second language, straight away you are awarded a third division. So if you fail in English, you have failed the whole exam. If you fail in the second language, Hindi, you're brought, no matter if you got distinctions, you are brought down and given a third division grade. So, but when you got have your mark sheet, the mark sheet shows all the subjects you appeared for. And I told my principal, my mark sheet is going to show failing in geography, and that's going to spoil my record. But he said, you'll be counted your best five subjects. So why you're worried about geography? It's not an important subject, right? It's not English, it's not second language. So why are you worried about that? I said, because it will show a red line, it will show a red mark in my mark sheet. But I want to get rid of it. And he said, I cannot take the risk, Winston. I cannot take the risk. Because if I took five subjects and I failed in any subject, that means I got marks only for four subjects. I failed the exam. I can get distinction, but I got only four subjects if I fail in any one subject. And he was very scared I will fail in Hindi. He was very scared I will fail in Hindi. I remember my sister used to take tuitions from the Hindi master. She used to take tuitions, but he knows my father in the railway, salary is not much. He never, I think he took little fees or no fees. I don't remember that, but it was like no fees or very little. I asked him for, and he was teaching me Hindi also. I asked him, I said, sir, please, I would like tuitions also, because I'm scared, in case I fail. And he refused. He said, no, Winston, I know you are capable of doing it. You can pass. You cannot get good marks, but you will pass in Hindi. I know you will pass, but I will not. I said, sir, I will. I think my sister was free, because I remember saying, sir, I will pay you for it. And he said, it's not payment. You will pass. You don't need a tuition classes. But believe me, if I told you this, you may say, I don't think it's possible. But, where we were staying, we had a bridge over the railway tracks, we had a bridge. And on the bridge, we had a lot of hoardings of all the films that used to come out. And for me, when I used to look at all the actors and actresses, honestly speaking, their faces all looked the same to me. I couldn't tell which actor is who and which actress. And actors, I came to know a few, but actresses, I just couldn't know. They all look the same to me. Of course, the paintings are different from real photographs, correct? But I started going and seeing Hindi movies. Believe me, I started going and seeing Hindi movies. Remember last time in my live stream, I spoke about, people collecting things. I used to collect, like Magenda said, stamps and all. She collects stamps and all that. So I used to collect also movie tickets. And I mentioned at that time, I have gone for 5 movies in a day. 9 o'clock matinee show. They call it a matinee show, the early morning. 9 o'clock, 9 to 12. 12 to 3, second movie. Okay, 12 to 3, second movie. 3 to 6, third movie. 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, fourth movie. And 9 o'clock to midnight, 5 movies. I have seen on many occasions 5 movies a day. And I used to collect it. I used to put the ticket counterfoil. I used to stick it in a notebook. I used to write down the date. I used to write down what film and what time of the film. I used to keep a note of all that. But I started seeing so many Hindi movies, and believe me, it improved my Hindi to some extent. Not improved it that I was fluent in speaking the language, but it improved that I scored 53%. 53% I scored in my final board exam for Hindi. And I told my principal, don't worry, I am confident of myself. I will pass in Hindi. I will not go get good marks. I will pass. I think 40 or something was the passing marks in those days, 40 or something. I said, don't worry, I know I will pass in Hindi, but I want to remove geography. But he never permitted. He said, I cannot take the risk. Okay, Stephen, thank you so much for being here. I know it's so late for you. It's almost midnight. Oh, it is midnight, like kind of. Yeah, it is midnight. Okay, Stephen, take care. I know it's midnight for you. Take care. Thank you so much for being up, and all the best for Martha. Okay, all the best for Martha. So, yeah, so I may come on in the evening or I may not come. Okay, so it's that way. So, yeah, so that's the story. I did get through, but I failed in geography. But when I went to my teachers training college, I had a professor from English professor. He was from UK, Mr. Blackmore. Very good teacher. I took such an interest in geography that when I came back, I wanted to do my graduation in geography. I wanted to specialize in geography, but they told me that no, I was doing an online course. They said you cannot do geography for online course because there's a lot of practical work. You have to do a lot of practical work and topography, and you have to go out in the field and all that. So you cannot specialize in geography. But can you imagine a person who failed in geography for their school board exam was so interested to do a graduation in geography? I became so interested in the subject. So, it all depends on the teacher. I always used to say it's the teacher. And I compared, when I was becoming a teacher, I compared my good teachers and my bad teachers to help me improve myself, help me improve myself. And I always thought out of the box. I always thought out of the box. So, yeah, that is it. Okay, guys, I started the live stream a little early, I think, few minutes early or something. Uh, Yes, few minutes earlier. And though I know you are all still here, many of you are still here, but I will just stop it because let me have my lunch quickly. It's on my head. I may face negative, I may face a failure, but at least I can say I tried, right? I'll go to the airport to find out this information. At least I can say I tried it, correct? I can say I tried it. So, yes, I tried it. So that's what I will do. Okay, that's what I will do. So take care, and yeah, take care. Love to all of you. Let me quickly put in a thank you note. uh, okay, so that is it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being over here. Love you all, and God bless.